This is podcast number 4, recorded on 7/12/2012. The topic for today involves... Well, I'll have to get to that here in a second. Hey, this is Megan for PRS Films. Quick little update. I'm going to keep up these podcasts and keep trying this format. I actually quite enjoy sitting in my computer chair, staring at the wall, and giving you guys my 2 cents without feeling like I have to script anything. Also, been in a little bit of pain today, so my apologies if I have to stop and take a deep breath and kind of just relax. Not feeling all too well right now. My back hurts extremely. So this podcast will be kind of a one-taker, even though this is my second take. So the topic of today is kind of a mixed feeling topic, due to the fact that I don't have much education in the main circle of things. I don't have a lot of education in the main topic. The main topic is basically abortion, but I guess the main subject is within that abortion subject. I have never had a kid before. I've never been pregnant, never been through that cycle, never had sex, never been married, so I don't really have a right to say about the abortion piece of this conversation. So when I say what I'm about to elaborate on, take it with a grain of salt, because I don't have much education on the subject at hand, other than the mini subject that's about to take place here that I'm going to actually give my 2 cents on. The mini subject actually involves a post that somebody on the Facebook, and apparently they have these tests that they can do now, and take a look into my Outback. Take a look into the fetus take a look at the fetus and analyze the genetic code and see what you can possibly potentially have as a child when they finally are fully developed. The problem here is that unfortunately they are letting autism be a reason to possibly give the option to terminate a fetus. Basically, they've developed a test. I don't know what it's called. I'll post a link to both the website that I got this information from. You can read it for yourself. I skimmed through it mostly because it uses a lot of big words, and it kind of was a turnoff for the average person. But if you look into it, read what it's got to say, develop your own opinion. That's all I ask. I don't know whether abortion is right or not, especially very early on in the fetus's stages and so on and such forth. However, I can understand why people want to do it. I can understand why people want to abort. Accident, you can't afford it. Accident, oops, it just happened and you're not ready. Though I don't feel that's a proper excuse. I can understand. You got raped or something, whatever. I understand the abortion subject, but my center subject is not just about abortion, but it's about doing these pre-tests to see if your child is going to have a certain disorder, and that you can now potentially have a choice to abort the baby because of this founding information of the fetus. Now, I understand if something terribly is wrong, if to the point to where the baby may be born dead, or to the point to where the baby could potentially be born and severe, oh my god, they can't even walk on their own and can't even understand what 2 + 2 is. This can be potentially bad in multiple ways. That makes sense. If it is to the point severe to where they are drooling, it could get to that. If that potentially is what you found out in the pre-stage in the fetus, that's fine. When I read this and see that, and I quote, from the article, the article that the Autcast decided to use. There are several mismatches detected. Most are benign. They're not predicted to have any biological effect, but there's one. A deletion of a few thousand bases in a gene involved in brain development. This deletion is predicted to raise the risk of epilepsy and autism from 1% to 10 apiece. The parents now have a decision to make. The mutation is a one-off. It's not inherited. If they conceive again, roll the dice again, and it'll be gone. Do they terminate? If I'm not mistaken, you're trying to tell me that if my child, if I ever do have one, has a chance of autism and Asperger's, you're going to give me the option to terminate my baby because it has autism. A disability in which the society and the medical field is still trying to figure out and examine properly. My child could have the option of being terminated. The quote continues, like the adverts say, some people disagree with this, but we say there's only one person who really matters. Your baby. Exactly. That's why you shouldn't use autism as an excuse. To say, well, my baby's going to have autism, I need to terminate. That's like almost the equivalent of saying my child's going to have ADHD. That's a really bad example, but mind you, like I said before, if I did mention this, I actually can't remember if I did or not. I don't have much experience in this category of whether abortion is okay. In all honesty, I don't know. The only way I can imagine abortion in general is just if you take if you're building a computer. I know that sounds like not a very good comparison, but if you're building a computer and you only have, say, the power supply, or you only have the shell, the tower itself, and you have the monitor, and something happens, is it okay to just throw that away? Or would it just be better to hold on to it and just finish the project? And if not, then donate it. Don't pitch it. It's kind of the same concept. Though the moral behind that isn't as strong as a baby or a life, it's still that option of give birth to the baby and then put it up for adoption. But that's not what I'm trying to get at fully on the subject because, like I said, I don't have much education. But I can't let autism be a reason to abort a baby. That's pathetic. It's sad because there are severe people with severe cases of autism, and even then, it's not like they can't function. It doesn't feel like it qualifies. It doesn't feel like it should qualify for a reason to abort or terminate the baby. It's like, oh, your child's gonna have autism. Suddenly you're just gonna toss it out. I don't feel that as if abortion is declared morally as okay to a certain point that the fetus is not a human, blah, 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 fine. Autism should not be a reason. Let's just go with that. If it is okay and the fetus isn't a human, and we find out it has autism, that shouldn't be an excuse. In the end, though, to me, abortion is probably wrong, though I can understand exceptions, but severe, immediate exceptions should be made. So it's very based upon the situation, I feel, but trying to focus mostly on the autism, because my sister's autistic. Basically, if this development was made 30 years prior, and 30 years ago they were able to say, well, miss, your baby has a possibility of having autism, you do have the choice to terminate the baby. That doesn't make any sense to me. And with the disability, air quote that, too, because I don't even know, most people don't even consider that a disability. Some do, some don't. It's one of the biggest debates out there right now in the world of mental health. And this disability that doesn't really, it's not like as if it's a severe retardation. It's not even really a retardation. It's just you require a lot of care. and a lot of love, you know? It's not something that's simple. It's no different than saying, oh, this child has Down syndrome, you have the option to terminate. That's stupid. I'm sorry. At least give them a chance to live. Unless, again, it's a severe case. Like, it's, like, to the point to where it's so bad that it could potentially be so bad that they may not ever be able to live. And even then, I don't think we can predict that early. So it don't matter anyways. But again, I'm kind of mixed feeling. I'm pissed that's an option. That's my bottom line here. I'm pissed that autism is a reason to terminate. That there are reasons like autism that you are now able, you have the option now to terminate. Do you wish to terminate the baby? I think that is absolutely stupid. Now, to terminate for other reasons, that's a different debate. That's something I need to educate myself further on. But this is ridiculous. That means potentially, because I have Asperger's, I could have been terminated. Had this research been developed about 30 years ago, I could have been terminated and never born. Or at least never born the same way. It's agitating. That's all I can really say about it. This is kind of a small cast, actually. I expected to go a little longer. It's like 12 minutes long. That's about the average. That's the average. Anyway, post your thoughts below. I'll post a link of the, the article so you can read it yourself. The article isn't focused on autism, just on the abortion, fetus, research that they developed that they can be able to define and see what's genetically encoded in the brain. That's really all the research is about. So the autism focus was just posted thereafter as an afterthought. Trying to pull it up. If I can, that'd be great. Coming of age in fetal genomics. It's actually a blogger. I actually didn't catch on to that. But the research is really close to being developed, and they may be able to find what could be potentially genetic code in your baby. That isn't wrong. That's fine. If you can find a way to genetically find a way to see what's in the genetic codes of your baby, that's fine. What to do with that information? That's the question. So that is my 2 cents. Very complicating podcast. My apologies for that. And hopefully we will see where this goes. This is Megan from PRS Films. Hopefully you all have a good one. Hopefully my back gets better. I will talk to you all later. Peace out, and yeah.